Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Subscribe to the channel. And sometimes I'm going to say, sometimes it's good to be a uranium investor. After the day like today, the buyers stepped in here. They really showed us that they were there. So that's great. So I'm going to go over some technical analysis. We're going to look at the charts. I had to redo the charts because they finished so strong at the end of the day. I even had some quotes because I was going through the day, looked at the account and was like, oh, it's up, it's good. Some of them had taken off already. Base load was up, standard uranium was up, and then some of these they just finished strong. So I've got some quotes here. I think they're kind of funny, and we'll dive into the charts. So here we go. This is the uranium technical analysis. It was a close race today. And what I'm going to say is, quote, did you see Encore? That thing came out of nowhere. I mean, it was going up 3-4% today. I think it ended 12% or more. That's a quote by me. If Uranium Royalty could say something, it says, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And Uranium Royalty, it started okay, and it just finished strong. It just kept building momentum throughout the day. Standard uranium, you mean the gold standard? It was up 23% today, somewhere around there. I did it a little bit before market close. And then I've got the quote here. It's from a song. The whole club is looking at her. She hit the flow. She hit the flow. Next thing you know, base load going low, 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 low. Then bam, 12% up today. So that one broke out of its pattern. It back tested or retested and shot higher, up 12%. And Fission, if it could say something, this was a huge party that was going on, apparently. It would say someone had to drop the hammer. I'm going to show you a pattern. It's called the hammer. And the quote I'm going to leave you with in terms of the opening lines is, investing is like drinking in college. You need to take the shot before you use the chaser. So you got to take your shot before you start chasing stocks. And today, if you bought it early in the day as it was gaining strength, you were buying into strength for some of these companies. Now, let's jump in. Let's look at URNM. This is the ETF here. I've got the pattern drawn in. This guy down here is this distance between this here, the opening right here. It could go down a little bit more, maybe. But if the buyers are stepping in, they could push this higher right here, right now. So what to do? Well, if you're buying some of these companies, you should have bought today, because we had strength. Now, are we done going down yet? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. We still, we came back. We could come up a little bit, and we could have a little bit left in this tail here. Maybe we come down a little bit more, but I think we're getting really close here. But that's just looking at URNM. CCJ, you draw the trend line in. This could pull back further. It could. I don't see the buyer stepping in this particular stock. It's tough to say. I'm going to see what tomorrow brings us, but I'm not as excited about CCJ as some of the other companies. Nexgen's looking good. Looks like this is kind of putting in a little bullish engulfing. If it is a bullish engulfing, I bet you we could see some buyers step in here and push this thing higher. That's what I'm seeing in the chart right now. If it didn't close high enough, if we didn't get a strong closing, we could do more sideways movement. I don't see the huge volume yet, though. We're missing the volume here. Now, Fission, this is the one that was dropping the hammer. This is called a hammer pattern. Usually it's a reversal pattern. That's why you get the big wick on the bottom. You close up strong, and usually this wants to stay above this line or move higher. So that's looking good for Fission. Denison Mines is still meandering around. We have our kind of support line somewhere down in this range here. We've got UU, American company moving on sideways. It's just tracking sideways at the moment. And some of these I did kind of earlier in the day. I don't know if they finished a little bit stronger than this. UEC, putting in a little bit of work here, 4% up day. Volume is still pretty low. This is if this is a shoulder, head, shoulder, your projected move would be roughly a little bit lower than where it's at. Remember, this is on a line going up, so it's really close to being a bottom here. So We'll see what happens tomorrow. Very curious if the buyers continue to step in here and push it higher. Now, Encore Energy, we've got a wick on the bottom here. Usually that means that you want to reverse higher. And the buyers, second half of the day, just stepped in and throttled it higher. I think it ended above 12%. And, this could launch from here. And it's probably going to close right around this 50-day. You might see a little small down day tomorrow. We call it a bloody nose in technical trading. And what I'm looking for is a move. Hopefully, the buyers to step in and move it higher. It finished pretty strong today, and that's a good trait for a continuation move. Now, here's deep yellow. I did this earlier in the day. I know it was probably moving around. We are coming down, and we worked off some of that momentum. There might still be a couple sellers left, maybe. Maybe they push it back to this line here, but overall, the sector's turning around. Bannerman's was looking pretty good, up 8% today. The volume's not there, though. That's the only thing that I'm looking at. It's like, where's the volume? Come on, buyers, step in here and push this thing higher. If you want it to go higher, you can go lower and accumulate more longer. That's also another good strategy. I kind of don't really care. Goes down, I accumulate more. Goes up, my account goes up. So it's a win-win every time I look at it. And if you take that approach, you'll be a much happier person taking that approach. Now, Global Atomic, it looks good here. We pull back. We've got this nice big up day here with some okay volume. We've got these little down days. Usually that's a continuation pattern to move higher, to turn and move higher here. So I think that one looks pretty good, Global Atomic. Goviax was looking really good. This line down here, there's a lot of buyers in this section around 20 cents. I bought some at 20 cents here. I think if we got some money flowing in here, I think we're going to go higher. UEXCF, another company that I really like. I've been kind of dousing some money in here in these days right here, these past 2 days. We have this line coming through here. It's somewhere in this general vicinity. Where you draw this line, as long as you've got buyers and sellers interacting with each other here, you're going to have support in this area in the 25 cent to 27.50 cent area. Having it be perfect, drawing your lines perfect, it's not a big deal. At least not to me, but I think we're going to see some support down here. I'm going to start nibbling on UEXCF. Forces Metals, yeah, I could go down tomorrow a little bit, but overall, I think we've got some good support here, kind of bouncing off here. We'll see what happens tomorrow, but I think it's starting to get some footing to move higher at some point. We could see tomorrow be a little down day or something. If we see a down day tomorrow, I want it to be a small little down day, a opening and closing price that are very close together. It means that the buyers and the sellers are quite balanced, and that the sellers they're basically tired and want to get out of here. The thing I do like about Forces is you've got a little bit more volume on the up days here coming up. So I think we are turning here. Forum Energy Metals, we've got lots of support resistance in this area that I drew. These two lines in this channel, basically. And we're right kind of towards the bottom of the channel. I'd like to see some volume step in here and start pushing this thing higher. Now, Standard Uranium, this thing, I think it even ended higher than this, like 20-something%. I think it was Terry Papineau. Yeah, Terry Papineau, he had an interview on that baby channel, whatever one. And he mentioned baseload and Standard Uranium, and then they did this big old long candlestick. So, but there's a lot of resistance up here, and I think it might have even broke through this resistance. Could see a big move if people continue to buy it. He was talking about baseload as well. This was a good setup regardless right here. Nice big bullish engulfing right on the retest. Boom, popped higher. That one looks, I like baseload. Now here's Sky Harbor. It's still pulling back. This is the projected move somewhere around there. If you were to use this head to here, could be a little bit less, and you have to run it across, but it's getting close to a bottom. Canalaska, I think, is getting close to a bottom as well. If you take the projected move, it's right there. So I bet you we're going to see this kind of turn around very soon at some point. Here's Pure Point Uranium. I like Pure Point Uranium as well. I think it's a good shot for an exploration company. And again, I don't have a ton of money in it. I sprinkle it in these exploration companies. But it's in an uptrend, still above its trend line, holding strong. Fission 3.0, still kind of in this little uptrend line. It's, again, holding strong. We do have a big sell-off day here, but these are a little bit different than some of the other companies since they're so small, and some of these days are kind of insignificant in terms of chart rating. It's a lot harder with low liquidity stuff. Azincourt is still just coming right to the edge of this guy. I do own a little bit. I bought in here somewhere in this dead period. Sometimes they try to fake you out and then move higher. And be careful with these because, I mean, you're either in or out because sometimes they just launch higher. So I have a little bit in there. Same with ALX Uranium, these small little exploration companies. It's not much, but I do have a little bit. Lightbridge is looking pretty good. Nice big pattern, broke to the upside of this pattern, and looks like it's going to go higher. So that's a good one. Centrus Energy is doing the retest. Broke out of its pattern, came up, retest, and what do? We usually buy the retest. So if this one looks strong, like it wants to jump tomorrow or something, up to you. Paladin Energy, this guy's just chugging out, going up in this slight uptrend, but it is kind of rolling over. If this closes here, it's kind of a lower high as it kind of steps down. It may pull back, maybe. Laramide Resources, finally the buyer showed up a little bit. If this is a shoulder, head, shoulder, which is hard to tell, the projected move would be very low, about where it's at right now. And it looks pretty good with this nice big up day right here. Buyers need to step in. The volume didn't step in, but we'll see what tomorrow brings us. Uranium Royalty Corp. I did this. I think it ended up even way more than this. I think it was like up 16% or something. But the buyer stepped in. I bought on this day here. I told everyone I was buying it on this day. They tried selling it back off. I said there's good support in this region where the blue line is all back here. And I bought more this day right here. And then, this is a good day for a single day. And I'm up over 20% on this already. I think I bought back here too somewhere just to open the position so it got in front of my account. So that, uranium royalty looks really good as well. So overall, I think some of these companies they're turning around. It's fun being in these things. It really is. I know volatility is a pain on the downside, but it feels great on the upside. So hopefully this can continue. Some of these companies, CCJ, NXE, we got to get these things to come up. They're kind of just sitting there lagging a little bit, and I'd like to see them. I like the buyers to step in and push them higher because I consider those guys to be our leaders. And if the leaders are still coming lower, I think we're going to see some of these guys kind of go sideways for a little bit until those leaders show us that it's a real move. But we'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Obviously, we'll all get together and look at the charts again tomorrow, and we'll go over it, and I'll let you know what I see. Thanks for listening. Give me the thumbs up if you haven't. This is Finding Value.